Yes, sir. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's your boy, Professor Pippins, back in this bitch on I Traded Asian, trying to get active, trying to get live. Man, oh man, man, oh man, man, oh man. Last week was enough from the markets to freaking retire, but we can't win them all. We can't catch them all. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Pokemon. We got to catch them all, but sometimes it don't work out that way. And we had some gas, and we had some more gas, and then shit, we just missed on the gas. But um, for some reason I already deleted my AU chart, was quite frustrated with it. Well, not really, because like I said, when I was pointing out this little area right up on here, that price action finally wick below like last week, that this week we got a potential to go bullish. The thing that I kind of identified there was once I saw price action wick right over here go below this little liquidity area right here, we started closing back above structure on the hourly time frame. So once we got that deeper retracement within that 4 hour range from this high to this low, right over here. All right, so once we wick below this liquidity area right here with this move, um, this was the 4 hour range we were playing within. And like I said, we closed above hourly structure right back in over here. Once we came back up into testing out supply, well, this move kind of looked like it was it, but then it pulled down, didn't really break any structures and pushed back into it. This move definitely had to push into supply that caused the break of structure looking left. And that move didn't really come back down and give us no real bearish price action. We did start to create a little bit of bearish price action on the 15-minute, 30-minute lower time frames like that, but immediately once the news started to crack out the rest of the week, we just ultimately went bullish. Broke above this high. Once we did this move right here about on Wednesday, I told the team the only thing we potentially could be looking for is a retest of this 4 hourly structure that just got broken, or the hourly structure. We didn't even get that, and then it just kept smoking to the top side. So I can't say that news, messed up the plans. I feel like that's just the way it was supposed to play out. Um, I did drop a couple. I did catch a few shorts from the beginning of the week, but after Wednesday, it was like miss, 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 and more missing. If I can get this Telegram open, kind of want to do a compare and contrast and a weekend analysis, but it's gonna be hard to compare and contrast AU because we definitely deleted the damn charts. I can pull up what we dropped from the weekend analysis, and I can kind of go over the trade that we took. 29th is the date. All right, so this was the chart coming in from the weekend analysis last weekend. Price action open here. We said we were looking for a simple pullback and then continuation to the downside because the 4 hour was bearish. This was that liquid. This was price action tapping into that liquidity grab last week and then closing above. And you know what I'm saying? I pointed out in the last video that there was potential for price action to continue to go bullish, but when price action is still bearish, I have learned from trading in the past that I'm gonna stick with what my higher time frame trends, higher time frame price action is showing until price action do something else. And last week we did something else. So took some shorts from right up in here. Price action pulled back. Caught a couple pips out of it. Wasn't the biggest, probably, 15, 20 pips somewhere up in there. And we'll see that as we continue to go through these screenshots. But overall, was looking for a pullback to drop. It didn't. It continued up to the top side. This was GU. We identified that GU was still within that we talked about how GU was still bullish within that 4 hour range, and then if it did not break that low, then we definitely had a chance to go bullish. GU also went bullish throughout the week. UJ, we didn't know what we was looking for. UJ was kind of marked it up and said, whatever happens, happens. We'll come back and reanalyze once we do make some moves. GJ, we had 3 possible scenarios: break the low, continue for to the 4 hour support. And we did have that supply area identified within the market. And one thing I said from last week was because we had all these taps here, I didn't think there was many orders left from this level to potentially push the price higher, but I was wrong. We did have a breakout buys call that played out for 100 plus some odd pips. But yeah, from there, for the most part, I say was able to make some cash. UCAD, we still have the analysis up from the weekend. Coming from the weekend, I was looking for a pullback back into a supportive area on the 15-minute time frame, all the way back into demand from the hourly time frame. We were able to catch a trade on Monday night. I think on Yeah, I skipped the shorts on Sunday night because I was focusing in on AU. But as price action opened up during the week, we got the weekly open right down here. We trickled down with some corrective price action back into the supportive area we had identified from the weekend analysis. And then once price action gave us a bullish confluence on the lower time frames, 15-minute time frame, 5-minute, 1 minute, we took those buys. What happened with this trade was we got in from this price action right over here. Go ahead and break that thing. We got in right over here, and this price action started to push up and pull away from my entry. You know what I'm saying? We pushing into resistance right up here. Captured some profits, trailed the stops, and then got trailed out. Did not smash up full TPs on this one. This other trade here, we tried to hop in on FOMC on Wednesday. Did not go our way. Ended up getting smashed right over there. So, and then did end up taking some shorts from right over here. The problem with this trade that happened right over here, we hopped in during the Asian. That right? The Asian there. Yeah, we hopped in during the Asian. So we saw price actually start to break down. For me, I don't have an Asian high established, so I didn't know necessarily where to put my stops. Once price action actually started moving around that 8, 9 o'clock area, what my setup looked like was we had shorts from here, somewhere right up in here, and I had the stops right above this candle. And ultimately, as you can see, we got trailed out. Had I put the stops, a little bit higher or done something different, then I could have potentially had great gains looking for those shorts. And in the group chat, I told the group, man, price action is funky so far this week, doing some crazy shit. But with UCAD, if we broke below this hourly support right over here, then we definitely have the opportunity to catch the shorts all the way back down. And this is what I was pointing out right over here. We had lost the shorts or the longs right up in here, and we said, okay, well, price action is coming down strong bearish. If we break through this hourly support, then we got a chance for price action to come all the way back down to that 70, that 0.70 on the field level, 786. And when you zoom that thing back out, that's what happened. It actually broke through even further and continued to go lower. This is another thing that I pointed out last week. I said, once you within a certain range of price action, when you see price action close below that 786, yeah, it's probably about to go the other way. I know we outlined that on GU last time as well. GU had actually closed below the 786 and still got back up out of there to the top side. But here's that hourly support I was identifying from the screenshots. I said once we close below there, all these tight lows right over here, all this built up liquidity right up in there, price action is going to slide through that thing like a stick of butter, like a knife through a stick of butter. But overall, you can somewhat bearish at this point, breaking through 4-hour structure. So we're looking for back to the daily level to see if we can find a supply from right up in this zone right over here and see if price action turn around for us. If it don't, then just keep following that thing to the downside. Clicking over to GU. Here's that 4-hour range where GU closed below that 786. Spread that thing all the way across. Right in over here. And like I said, generally when you see that price action does continue to go in that direction. But this found enough magic to get back up out of there to the top side. So we did have a breakout buys called on GU. Like I said, I don't trade GU that often, but had you had taken them, we got to close above, break above, and just let that thing ride for 200 of them things. So from the analysis from the weekend, we was just looking for a pullback and drop or a break above the 15-minute structural break, close above, pull back, and then get up in that thing. Breakout buys would have been a close above, and then take the next candle immediately that breaks the high. So potentially, if this would have been the candle, we was going to a 15-minute because that's what we've been looking for that setup. All right, so as we get the candle to close above, break above, didn't happen here. We closed above, but the following candle didn't break above that candle, so no entry here. Right here, we probably could have got set up because this closed above that area. But we got the breakout buys 21,629. It doesn't close back above into this candle, so yeah, this would have been tricky. This one over here definitely possibly would have got us stop loss here to trail down as well because we got to close above, break the next candle, and it does come back within the range. And then it's not until later within the week, like Wednesday, where the real breakout actually really happens. Even if you took one of these trades back on over here, let's see the stops. Let's see if we take the first one. I would have had to jump back out to the hourly to see where it stops, but just based off of this low, you're looking at a 74 pip stop loss. Hell no, I would not have taken that setup. It's just too risky. The first TP1 would have been back into 1-hour structure, which has been 110, was not bad. Then back into 4-hour resistance is 167 of them things. And we see how far it actually pushed, but this would have been tough to get into. And this is one of the reasons I don't really like trading GU because based off the way I trade, based off the way I set up the charts, when I see that candle close above and that next candle break that high, I'm ready to hop in. And right over here could have been a great example of where I got smashed up. Yeah, this stop loss is just way too big for me. So can't tell you that I would have had a successful trade back in over here, but overall the analysis for the most part played out. Broke above, closed above. Now we're looking for continuation buys back to the top side. So if we get price action to come back into this level and start to give us some funk, like something like this, we'll potentially look to take buys from right there. But overall, when you look at it from the higher time frame standpoint, we price action started down here and has pushed all the way back up in here. So these buys are necessarily really risky taking them from way up here. Ultimately, we would like to see some more gas come down off of that thing and then try to take the buys from the downside from somewhere like down here. Hold on 1 second. All right, sorry about the break. I don't know where I was at, but based off of this, like I was saying, potentially should be looking for a pullback and then see if we can see price action get back up out of there. Um, we're gonna clear all these up and get to active price action in a minute, but just kind of wanted to go through and look at what price action actually did and then reanalyze. So we had the continuation buys, break and retest from this 4 hour resistance right up here. Not necessarily set up. We see we pushed, so we got the pullback we wanted, but we don't see price action maintain above that level to potentially take the buy. So right here is kind of the price action that we're looking for on GU. As we got back up out of that 4 hour zone, the 4 hour resistance, we want to see that deep pullback and see price action start to fumble around like this. Then we want to start looking for a bullish confluence and say, okay, we pushed up. Here's a little resistance right here on the 15-minute time frame. We came back down. We respected the low, didn't break the low. Then we got back up out of there. So at the point that we pulled down one more time, potentially we could start to take those buys back up into that liquidity target or even to that resistance that just was created last week. So overall, UJ still bullish. Should be looking for the best bullish scenario. I would be careful with these buys. I do see price action breaking a little bit of structure right up in here, so that could be somewhat worrisome, especially if we come out bearish and break this low first. I'm guessing from what I learned last week, don't stay stuck to the analysis because with with AU, I could have caught the buys. I just didn't believe in them. And it was because we were stuck within that 4 hour bearish range. Clicking on the GJ continued bearish as well. The possible breakout buys got up out of that thing to the top side. Didn't look at these charts really at all. As you can see, the only got the weekly open in the first London open, marked up and analyzed. And the rest of the week, I just kind of stayed back, focusing in on AU and UCAD. But overall, still bullish. Just broke through 4 hour resistance to the top side. So we do have a new 4 hour high, new 4 hour low. We can let me go out to the 4 hour. Guess it'll be more clear once we reanalyze. But so you said high to low, high, 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 low, high, high. I don't like this 4 hour range. This one here, this will be a new 4 hourly low, 4 hourly high, pull back, and it already broke that high. The distance in between those two highs is not great. So potentially we could see some heavy retracement action going into next week, but we'll let the candles set up and show us what they want to do. But right now, currently bullish on the daily, bullish on the 4H, and bullish on the hourly. So should be looking for the best bullish scenario on GJ. Last but not least is gold. Gold didn't really necessarily do nothing. Wasn't looking for too much on gold. We had the hourly support identified, but breakout shorts below that area. And then short term, 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame, we're looking for a slight correction back to the downside. We did get price action to come back into that structure that was most recently broken, and it tried to push up, but overall, it didn't really give out too much gas. We came back into that level, tried to push up, and then once I would have saw price action come back into this low and actually break that low, I probably would definitely not been looking for any more buys on gold. But overall, for the most part, consolidated week, and that's just where it's at. So gold, not a whole bunch of movement. Still bullish on the 4 hourly, still bullish on the daily. Are we bullish on the daily? Yeah, still bullish on the daily, still bullish on the 4 hour. Kind of consolidating below the 4 hour time frame. So we're gonna push back over to AU. Everything's already blanked over here. We're gonna delete that thing one more time. And we're gonna start out from that weekly time frame. Fresh month. Sometimes it is always good to try to peep out to the monthly time frame and see what price action doing. Overall, bearish. From the last, see, we got high to the low, lower high, lower low. So this will be that monthly range. Potentially a new lower high has failed to break that new lower low. So yeah, currently bearish on the monthly. As we bump down to the weekly, we kind of see that last weekly high, weekly low, lower high potentially. We say potentially because it hasn't broken that low just yet. And then we get down in here into somewhat looking like a demand zone for a price action took off last time. And we see this big ass bullish candle try to push up and get up out of that thing. I would have liked to see this candle close above this resistance right here. Looking at this from experience, from prior knowledge, generally when price action does not ultimately break the resistance, as you know, all these candles trying to push up and leaving the wicks here, we do kind of start the week off bare, so we could be looking for that going into next week. But ultimately last week definitely a bullish week when we bumped down to the daily. We try to identify the daily range. What I see for the most part is basically just the daily low right over here from where the move started from. They give you the bullish price action that started breaking structure looking left, so we can identify that. I do see somewhat of a 4-hour support area right down up in here, based off of the candles. Look at that 4-hour support. Let me jump down to the 4 hour and see what we're working with. Uh, go to the daily for a second. Yeah, that level don't even exist on the daily. So the 4 hour, we'll call this an hourly support area right up in here. But marking this 4 hour price action, we got the low to the high. Ultimately, this low doesn't break this high, so you say, see, this is where it gets screwy with you, and it all goes once you get to price action like this that doesn't necessarily meet all your rules. It all depends on how you trade at that point, how you identify structure to actually define these levels. And when I run into price action like this, where I have a low that doesn't break the high and it has a pullback, substantial pullback, that then goes and then gives you a new high. I like to include all of this as one push. But when you hop out to the daily time frame, you don't see that break right there. You just see the wicks. Um, Once you're in the market long enough, you know that wicks on the higher time frame is struck from the lower time frame. But yeah, so I would like to keep this as my 4 hour support. I would then like to keep this as my 1 hour support, and then go from there. And then if price action comes out and do something screwed, and I know, hey, that didn't work out. That analysis wasn't that great to start with. So we just gonna keep it moving based off of what price action shows and prints on on the charts. But for right now, we got 4 hour support, 1 hour support, potential breakout shorts below this level. And we don't have that 4 hourly high, completion of that 4 hourly high or completion of that 1 hour support. So right now, going into next week, this is how we'll pretty much have it set up. We got a bearish continuation zone. If price action comes all the way down there, break continuation trades below that level. But ultimately, price action is pushing. We are waiting for a retracement type activity. If we don't get it, then we just sit back and wait on AU for the most part. We got an area interest right over here. So coming into the week, what I am looking for is to see how price action comes back down. Do we get some corrective price action back into this level that then formulates and gives us price action on the lower time frames to take buys from there? Or do we come all the way back down to the actual support area and get back up out of there? Or what do we do? Do we stall out somewhere up here and continue and then come back down and do something funky? With this type of price action, it's kind of hard to determine, but we gonna see. Click go to UCAD. Go ahead and blank that thing. Pop out to the weekly. So I wouldn't say this is the thing I missed, but this is the thing I kind of discounted. I saw price action push into this liquidity target right up here. And once we closed the bar, I thought we was gonna continue on to this one. So that's why I kept taking those buys at the top of that range. I did have tight stops. They were pretty close. Didn't really lose a whole bunch, but it was a frustrating point of getting in way up there. And we know we should wait for that pullback. On what was that? FMOC on Wednesday. FO FOMC, however the fuck you say that shit. But that's what it was. And then the shorts we got tailed out with that wick. While I was trying to take shorts in the Asian, but ultimately right over here, I would like my daily low to still be the same. We do now have that daily high because we have started to break structure on 4 hour and the hourly time frame. So now can identify that range. Bullish continuation. All right. So then on my 4 hour time frame, We got this 4-hour support right up in here. And now we just looking to see. So based off of this, the way I would try to operate is break down price action right over here, try to find me a demand zone where price action took off from. But ultimately, the hourly, not enough price action here to say this was an ultimate resistance right here. Let's go down to the hourly and see what we get. I would like high to low, somewhat maybe a lower high here. It's real funky, real choppy. And let's see. It's hard to identify these levels at this point, like I said, because there's not enough of a pullback in my eyes to say this really gave a great retracement and then price action leaked from there. I would like to call this area here my 1 hour resistance. Not 100% on that level just yet. And we do have a little 15 minutes resistance right up in here. So going into the week, we're gonna see how these levels hold up. We don't have to trade from these levels. All we pretty much do is wait for price action to react from these levels. If they give us what we're looking for, then good. We'll continue to smash up the market that way. If they don't, then quickly blank the charts, reanalyze based off what price action is given. Continuation sales right below there. Yup. So that's how we're pretty much looking at it. But based off of previous price action, the way we were reacting from previous demand zones, I don't know that this is going to go back bullish anytime soon just yet. I do feel like we are going to come back down into this demand right over here and then look for the reaction based off of that. So we could be still looking for shorts at the beginning of the week on UCAD. And right now, there's not really anything pertinent to point out to say, okay, this is what I'm definitely looking for because I definitely see this based off what based off of the way that the candles are set up. So this will be my analysis for UCAD. Let me see, bullish on the daily. Still bullish on the 4H, definitely bearish on the hourly 15-minute and lower time frame. So kind of in between on where we really want to be as far as taking setups. If I'm gonna take a buy, I'm gonna be bullish on the daily, bullish on the 4H, bullish on the hourly, and looking for 15-minute time frames to take advantage of the market. Let's see, overall, we don't have to delete this whole chart. Seeing as how we only kind of was in this little area right here, we can get rid of that. Get rid of this and drag this out. New weekly open. Yeah, this looks too big. 29 to the 15th. Not to the hour, you know, a lot better. All right. We'll be there. We got the 29th. And then this is can't be accurate. It's gotta be another weekly open in between there, but I would hit this like this. Bearish on the daily. We got the structure most recently broken from the 4-hour time frame right over there. Let's go here. Let's go there. Text inside center. All right. So then this 4-hour support is not our major one anymore. And we have a new 4-hour support lining up right up in her. Template. There we go. And I'm not London open. Come on. And we don't have that 4-hourly high just yet. To go to the 4-hour time frame, I could potentially see the high to low, low, high, lower, low. So this would be a range, close above this low to the high, high, low, high, high. This hourly support structure is really funky as well. I would take it something like this. Hourly support. So immediately coming into the week, what I'll be looking for is to see if price action reacts off of this structure most recently broken and then get back up out of there for the buys. I would also expect or look for it to come back deeper. You got a little imbalance fill right down here. I would look for price action to get busy right up in here and then try to go back bullish. Outside of that, if it does happen to go bearish next week and start breaking through support levels looking left, not really the price action I really want to be getting in and staying in. Let me see what we can do. Identify this little imbalance here, or yeah, identify that imbalance field right there, and then just sit back and wait. So far, going through these charts, a lot of expansion on the higher time frame. So, you just got to wait for that retracement phase to either start or come back into a level where you feel like you can take a trade from. Because at this point, if you didn't hop in from last week, you kind of already definitely missed the trade that you really want to be in. Clicking over to UJ, go ahead and delete everything. We broke out a 4-hour time frame. Hop out to that weekly. All right, so we pushed all the way up here and didn't break this high. That's quite iffy to me. I don't really like when price action does things like that, because that means it's probably coming back down, my boy, because we did not grab the liquidity above that level. Based off of this, I want to hit this right here from a daily low. Bearish continuation. Just this right here is not fun or pretty to try to analyze and mark up and say which level is going to be the best level for you. Let's bump down to the 4-hour. Yeah, I don't know. This is ugly. I think this is where we was last time for the 4-hour. That's what kind of stands out right now. A 4-hour support. And then high, low, you say high, low, high. So on the hourly, we can look something like from right up at her. So if we break through this hourly support right up at her, we could definitely be looking to come back down within the 4-hour. So potentially break out buys below here or break out shorts below here. The possible shorts below there. Then we can identify that weekly open right up at her. Weekly open. Also tag that London in there. This is why I like to have my charts already analyzed before I come on and try to drop knowledge, because it does take a little bit of time to get all this set up in the right spot and get it accurate for you guys, so you'll be able to see it all nice and pretty like. But ultimately, we did have price action breaking a lot of structures to the top side. Structure most recently broken has already happened right up in here. And as we can see, price action did, try to tap into that level and try to react, but it didn't have enough orders to get us back up out of there. So we broke right through. So generally, what I would have been looking for is see, are there any imbalance fields? I probably would have bumped out to the 4-hour. You could either look at this price action up here, or I probably would have came all the way back down here with it. So still gonna hold hopes up and see if price action comes back to there. If we do happen to come down into that area and then set up bullish price action, it could potentially look to take some buys uh back up into there and then see what happens. So pretty much still all over the place on UJ for me. Not something I'm ready to hop in still just yet. Um, yeah, for the most part, I'm just trying to follow price action on UJ because I don't trust it just yet, the way I analyze and the way I mark charts. So if I do click back over here on Tuesday, Wednesday, and price action doing something like this, I probably will try to hop in some scalp buys, but ultimately not a whole bunch, not really confident in UJ. It's just pushing bullish. That liquidity target is still intact looking left, so we could be targeting that. But for the most part, if I did catch buyers right up in here, I'll probably take profit right up in here in this little lower time frame resistance. If we break above there, full targets right up in there, and then past that, I'm about up out of the trade at that point because I don't like swinging at all. So ultimately, still bullish daily, bullish 4-hour, bullish hourly is somewhat still bullish. The 15-minute or 30-minute, 15-minute or lower starting to roll over bears. So we have to be careful coming back into this 1-hour support because price action could leak right through that thing. Clicking on the GJ for the most part followed GU. Like we said, we had to break out buys, closing above 4-hourly resistance right over here. We can pretty much just expand this. And then 4-hour support. Bring it, I don't like that. All right, so we'll go ahead and delete all this. All right, so bump out to that weekly. Yeah, look like we're pushing right up into that thing right up there, bro. Go ahead and mark that daily high. Bearish continuation. Oh, the daily low. This is the daily high. Come down to the daily. All right. So then we got the high to the low. We can say higher high, somewhat of a higher low here. So ultimately, we could mark this area as our most recent for our support. Come down to the 4 hour, see how that looks, how it holds up. And that's that same area. Yeah. Yeah, it's there. You could say hourly support right here, but because of how tight the range is, you don't necessarily need it. Um, for people who I'm trying to explain what I'm looking at as far as market structure, I would probably draw something in like this, but like I said, it's not a necessity to have all this shit on the chart. We do want continuation shorts below this level, continuation sales right below there. So, looking for any type of retracements this week coming in to start the week on GJ. We do have a structure most recently broken right up in here. Structure was recently broken there. So we could look for price action to pull back, tapping into this area, find some type of support structure, and then get back up out of there to the top side. Otherwise, it's pretty much just like the rest of these charts we've been looking at so far, sit back and wait type of thing, because it ain't really there yet. Price action is not showing us right now which way. Well, it's already and it's expanded, so we're pretty much waiting for corrections on most of these charts. Um, there's not really anything to take advantage of for the most part when you look at these charts, besides waiting to see do we come back, build support, and then get back up out of there to the top side. You see this little 15-minute support. This level could also hold up at the beginning of the week. And then, yeah, yeah, see? Yeah, ultimately, let's see. DJ is bullish on the daily, bullish on the 4 hour, bullish on the hourly, and then just chopping around on the 15 minutes. So should be looking for the best bullish scenario. Could see corrective price action start the week open. And finally, gold. Gold for the most part don't really have anything to analyze over here. We pretty much just moved sideways all last week. The hourly support is still intact. You can now identify that hourly resistance right up top here, and then just play the range. For the most part, I'm hourly resistance. We can get rid of this. And this already done took place. So now we see price action pull back, and then we start to roll back over bullish. We have come back into, for the most part, that somewhat we have tapped into that 1 hour resistance. We didn't start to create bear strategies yet, but do see this little trend line starting to form here. If I do see price action close below this trend line, I don't really trade trend lines, but it's something to look out for. We close below there, then we could be definitely starting that bearish price action, high, low, lower, high. Want to give that new lower low back into hourly demand looking left. And then that could be set up for this week going into on gold, going into the week on gold. So not a whole lot of certainty right now, because I feel like a lot of the market is in the expansion phase. Gold overall consolidated from last week. So could be looking for something like this. Boop, 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 back into there. Get the formula with them keys, and then see if we can continue to go bullish. If we break through this hourly support, we got a long drop all the way back down. So at that point, we would break through this hourly support. I would then be able to identify my 4 hour range from the high to the low. And then once that happens, I would probably just take a fib play for the most part, because I don't really like the structures looking left. I like the 50 sometimes, depending on how price action sets up. But ultimately, I'm looking for it to come back to that 0.70 level and then see what I can get from over there. But outside of that, that's probably all I got for this video. Seems like I've been on this bit for a little minute. I know the analysis wasn't as clear and as precise as it usually is, but I didn't feel like deleting all that shit, doing a compare and contrast video, and then come back with a weekend analysis of the market about to open up in 2 hours. So don't know that I'm hopping too much tonight. I don't feel it. I don't really see it. I don't think it's there for the most part. So definitely just gonna be sitting back and watching. I know I said that every week, then I come back with a trade on Sunday. We did manage to grab some pictures from last week when we was hopping into the trades. Let's see. 29th was the first. Yeah, there's nothing up there. So this was UCAT. We was looking for those continuation buys. Price action came back down into that level we identified. Like I said, we pushed up into this resistance. I started to capture profits as we got up in that thing, and it came down and trailed me out. And then finally hit that TP we were looking for way up top. UCAT more of the price action playing out. We got that Asian range break and retested that Asian high. I entered from way down here just because I saw price action on lower time starting to create bullish structure from back within that support level I was looking for. So I executed. AU, I just knew AU was going to leak last week, but yeah, like I said, within that 4 hour time frame, I'm only looking for the shorts. Took the shorts. I don't know where I got out of this trade at. Can't really remember. I think stops were trailed shortly after this because I do think it immediately went back to the top side. You can't buys. What day is this on? I don't know, maybe the 31st. So this would have been Tuesday nights, agent session. Some breakout buys we got right over there. Some old shorts on AU. This was the next morning. I'd already trailed. Stops was right over here. We came down, grabbed a little bit more liquidity, then got back up out of that thing. But targets would have been hit. I think this is Wednesday. Yeah, the 31st or Tuesday, late Tuesday, London, early Wednesday. Price action smash up TPs. AU actually got trailed out as well. This is where we hopped in from the top side. We was looking to come back deep within demand right back and over here. And that's all this push here. Yeah, I definitely trailed because I see that any of this, once you actually go in and break down the actual candles, could be your demand area. So this tap trail the stops, and then that's what it was. UK, which this was the beginning of the buys again from Sunday night. Yeah. What is this? AU shorts. AU shorts on Tuesday. I was looking for continuation. Don't really know what happened right there, but I don't think these played out for real, for real. Try to get some more buys out of UCAS. So, like I said, at the beginning of the week, we did, smash up some profits. Oh, yeah, I do remember this short right here. Price actually immediately turned around after we hit TP1 on this trade. Did capture some profits from right down here. When we go back to the charts, price action did. This was right in over here. When the Asian session took the shorts, price session came in, tapped in that TP1. I had a TP1 right down there because of right here. Well, price action created the resistance on the lower time frame. So I hopped in some shorts right up in here. TP1 right there. We tapped to the T and then that thing immediately turned around. I was so happy I captured some profits right down there because immediately that thing went back to the top side. Let me see what other pictures we got on there. And we already looked at these. Let's see. Yep, TV. All right, so this was back at Wednesday. These were the last shorts that I showed. I captured TP1, and then you could see the result or what happened afterwards. Price action immediately scooted back to the top side. Was only looking for retest trades of the structure most recently broken on the hourly or the 4 hour time frame. It just kept going bullish, so I just kept leaving it alone. The other thing I identified, we were back into supply at that time, so any retracements could actually be price action rolling back over to the downside. It didn't actually broke above all this price action over here looking left, and it just kept going. UCAD, I was identifying those structures. We kind of already went through all this, but for the most part, I don't think I had any more executions as far as getting to the market. Besides this one right here, I got wicked out. Stops were too tight, and price action leaked exactly where I thought it was going. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's all I got for this one. If you're watching, thanks for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button for your brother. I greatly appreciate it. Outside of that, I'm out. Big booty holes in the building. Peace out.